Here we go.
Could potentially be very discouraging.
Oh, how you doing there, Paul? We've already got a question on,
Awesome.
oh man, Paul, thanks for the heads up there. I know it might be a little bit late for you there in the UK, but lasso guard, we will do our best to address that. So, hope you're sleeping well, sir. Maybe we'll go over a little bit there. So maybe that's a start.
Oh, Paul wants lasso guard. Yay.
Yeah.
I like lasso guard.
Mandy's favorite. Right on. Yeah, so I don't do the lasso guard very much myself, but it can be really kind of a pain to deal with when you're you're stuck in it on the top. So and there's a whole lot of variation to the lasso guard. When you say lasso, what we're really talking about is just that one control with the leg laced around and a good grip on the sleeve. And if you have a good grip and you can anchor it really well in your hip, it can be really kind of a problem. So there is sort of one thing that I'll do from the lasso guard. I'll actually have her demonstrate, since she's a lot smaller, and me shooting my hips up and slapping her in the face.
What, you don't think I can handle it?
No, you can, for sure. I'm sure you could. But since you know the technique, I'm going to have you demonstrate. So,
Do I?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I got a triangle setup from the lasso guard. This is a setup I learned a long time ago. My buddy Steve Ford, it's so funny. Some techniques I remember exactly when and where I learned them and who taught them to me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's really cool. My buddy Steve Fordinsky actually shared this with me a lot of years ago, back when I was a blue belt, and I liked it. I favored the triangle quite a bit. From the time I began to even until now, I like the triangle a lot. So let's go to that position here. So let's start here. So she's got this basic spider guard control here, and now she's going to lasso on this side, okay? Now, this is anchored here. This is really kind of a pain, and now she can move her body back and forth just from this controls here, and she can off balance me. She can tip me over here like this. This is bad news, okay? Anything that she can do to control my arms and my base, really. I mean, when she has me stuck here. So one, I think the way that I first learned it was kind of starting with basic spider guard. So bring that leg back on the inside here, okay? All right. And so starting here, this is a good way of getting used to how to move in the spider guard. Just learning how to kind of bicycle your feet back and forth, be able to move your body, raise the arms up, kind of turn the person into a scarecrow here, and create a little bit of off balancing and confusion. Okay, and the one thing we're looking for is to get to a point where we can get a leg out of the way. So if this is out of the way, she's got a better chance of shooting up for a triangle or an omoplata or something. So now what she's going to do is she's going to take this leg out, and she's going to lasso. She's going to come around, and now this gives her some more control as far as pulling me forward off my base here. Okay, now she moves and she sees the opportunity where a knee's not in the middle. What she's going to do quickly is she's going to change this grip. You'll see she changes from that side to the outside. So now what she's going to do is she's going to let this slide. She's going to shoot her hips up. Boom. Okay, so let's look at it again. Let's turn this direction. Okay, and so we're here. Spider guard position, which I don't like it very much. I don't stay there very long at all, okay? But now she's going to let this lasso go, she's going to take this foot off. She's going to make a lasso out of it here. So this is going to be here, and a lot of times people either prefer being really, really tight on the elbow, or sometimes like super deep up there by the shoulder, okay? Really, there's different applications for both, but typically I like this one here that's a little bit lower. All right, now what she's going to do, she moves, she gets an opportunity, maybe the knee's out of the way, where she can bypass it. She switches the grip here, shoots the legs, and now she pulls me in at the same time. So both arms are pulling as the hips shoot up, and now we can fight for the triangle position. So that's, yeah, I mean, I don't do a whole lot from that lasso position, but that one I like quite a bit.
I like, I don't know if you remember it, but the one that Ron taught, do you remember from Lasso?
Yes, vaguely, but I'm going to butcher it if I try it
So
now.
we'll have to ask Ron about that.
Yeah.
Maybe share that later.
Ron actually moved
I know.
back to Texas. I'm really bummed out. He's one of the black belts that trained at our school. I mean, we consider him one of our black belts because he was a big part of our academy. And, you know, really sucks because we didn't get a chance to say goodbye like we normally would. And, you know, like have a little going away party, big hug, whatever. So that's a bummer. But we have a belt up there. We have in our academy. We have belts of all the people that got their black belts from us. Nice long. I suppose. Do we have one that's done that we could show?
Probably.
We might even have Ron's up there. Mandy will see if we got one of these over here. Oh, you got nice flip flops. New flip flops. Look. Mandy's. Oh, those are nice. I want a pair of those nice flip flops. She's got a pair of reefs. Where'd you get those? Anyway, we turn out these things because, you know, getting a black belt is kind of a massive accomplishment. And man, you got it? Oh man, she's knocking all my targets and stuff down.
Tom Feist was the first one that popped up.
First one that popped up. So this is what we have on the wall at our academy. You know, anybody that gets a black belt, we build one of these, and obviously as they get stripes or whatever, we put the degrees on there. But I was fortunate enough to award Ron his degree on his black belt. So we've claimed him. He's ours now, and we're certainly going to miss him. He was a big part of our academy, and just yeah, it was a blessing to have him in our midst for a good 5 years or so. So he will certainly be missed. But yeah, he had a really gnarly spider guard, and his grips were just, man. Once he got a hold and he got you in that position, it was really a pain to deal with. I'll probably butcher that. I think it was basically he let you get around to a certain.
You dropped a leg down. I remember that. But
yeah, I can't remember.
oh well, we'll have to come back to that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is terrible instructional here.
Did you see Robert's question there too?
No, I did not.
Favorite triangle setup?
Favorite triangle setup. That is from. Sorry.
Better not be a murder hornet.
No, I think it was just a fly that time. You know, I used to have my favorites. That was one of my favorites for a while. I used to have my favorites, but I don't really have a favorite anymore as far as triangle setups. I think for me, after a while, just capturing. After I worked on and practiced the triangle a lot, and practiced a lot of setups, my body after a while just got attuned to when the opportunity was there. So once you learn a good bit of setups for the triangle and you get good at finishing it, the more and more you practice and train, the more those things become reflexive. So they may not. So my guard play is kind of how my guard play is. My first objective once the guard is open is to keep my legs between me and my opponent. Keeping the guard, that's my main objective. And then as I'm keeping the guard and focusing on protecting, stopping the pass, over time, I've just gotten to the point where I've recognized the things necessary to capture a triangle choke, and my body just naturally does it now. So I can't really think of like, oh, I do for this, I go for this, because I don't really do that anymore. I don't intentionally go for a triangle anymore. If it's just staring itself out at me, the one thing actually I do, I'll show you this one, because this is the one that I catch just because I can't help myself from doing it. And I did this to her for about, I don't know, at least a few months until she finally figured it out. Or not figured it out, I can't think, yes, the hand floating, right? So I prefer holding the elbow anyway, because I always like having the opportunity to be able to switch for an arm lock or having that control. I don't like this control from here, right? Later on, if I get a hook or something like that, yes, I may use this grip or may use the wrist grip, but I almost always, if I'm in my closed guard, I like controlling above the elbow, okay? So the setup that I probably, if there's one that I actually will go for and set it up for, is just because I can't help myself. And you see this all the time. People will reach back and they'll use the arm here like this, okay? And they'll let this hand float out, okay? Anytime I see them make a fist or their hand is floating away from my leg, I just slap it down and shoot my hips up, okay? So pretty simple. If I see them move back, even if I just see the elbow come back like this, they haven't connected yet, and I'm relaxed, and I see the arm go back and goes back, keep going, boom. I just shove it down, shoot my hips up, and lock it in, okay? So even if the hand is still kind of in, it doesn't matter. So if I see that hand floating, I'm gonna shoot the hips up, okay? I'm doing it kind of slow, and because she's just, you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, good. All right. So I really like this drill where you shoot your hips up. That's a solo drill you can do at home. You do a bunch of those, you can develop the musculature and the stability in your core to be able to capture a triangle when it shows up. So that one,
Don't let your hand float.
don't let the hand float. Connect, and you'll see the difference. Like all she needs to do, if this is how she wants to break the guard, is just this. So now I try to do that, she's connected, and now she can take advantage of the fact that the guard is open. So that's if I had a go-to right now, that's the one I would say. I just can't help myself. You leave the hand floating out there, I'm gonna slap it down and shoot my hips up, because it's too simple. So if I had a go-to, that would be it. Let's see here. Let's go back to the spider guard thing. No, sorry, lasso guard thing. One place where I don't use the guard that much, but one position that I will use it in is when I'm escaping side control. If we can move back this direction a little bit. If I'm escaping side control or defending here, like this, and I bring the leg over top, and their head is low here, and their arm stays inside, I'll bring this leg over top here, like this. And I haven't quite got back to the guard yet, but I have this knee across, or this shin rather, across her belt line, and my foot is hooked on to her hip on the other side, okay? Now, I'm kind of naturally here, so if I'm here like this, I'll keep this, right? If I'm like this, she can smash my legs down and come back around them, all right? So I keep this nice and high, so we can use this long enough sometimes to get back to the guard, but what happens a lot is somebody, they'll still try to pass the guard here. So if I hold her up and she still kind of pushes this through and she wants to come around this direction, I'll hold her up and then I'm going to collapse a little bit here. I'll pull with this. So I push, I'll pull. You see how my knee's going to the floor? I reach under and I grab the far side leg, and now we're going to dump her like this, okay? So that's probably a position that I'll get into every now and then when I'm escaping, okay? So it's not always here, move, get back to the guard. Sometimes there's just a lot of space here, and I just want to get my legs back in the game. But if this is here, I'll hold it, and if they pressure in, if I push up, I kind of raise my hips up, and now I collapse. Now she's over top of me. I can grab inside here, but I find if I can reach this pant leg or the leg down here, this is better. So you see how I kind of extend my hips. If she pressures in, I'm going to collapse, and now I'm kind of, you feel, you okay? Yeah. I'm rocking the boat here. This knee's going down, this knee's coming up. Now this knee is in a stronger position to knock her over. So I'm here, I extend, pull, this knee goes to the floor. I grab, and then we tip. Okay? Once she falls over, I can let that arm go and just come up on top. If they sit back, if I get here and I pass this here like this, if they sit back a little bit, well, I can just come back into the standard guard, no big deal, okay? But typically they're gonna still kind of engage with you here. And so if another option here, if they're here, but they're not really taking the bait, or maybe they're fighting this leg here, I can, maybe she's trying to push that through that direction, that way.
Oh.
Yes, I'll let this leg slip, okay? And sometimes, if this arm is on the outside, I can catch the inverted triangle, but a lot of it depends on what they're doing. So if I get this leg across and I get here, they sit back, I can try to, bring this leg over top and use that to help bring them down, but I don't know. Quite often it's just this, or if they sit back, I'm back here, and now we can switch and go right into the same setup that Mandy did earlier. So I don't do a whole lot of stuff from that position. To me, it's just a sort of a moment of opportunity. I like to get back to like foot and hip, wrist control, and just a standard sort of I'm too basic, is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't consider the basic stuff there, the lasso too complex or anything, but it does rely on the gi, and I don't always like the techniques. I like the techniques that, especially in my guard, that are going to work with natural handles, elbows, wrists, neck, head. So that is primarily, I mean, for the most part, that is mostly a gi technique because it's just too hard sometimes to control the wrist in no gi. Now you may find yourself using those, you may find yourself in very similar positions, like folding the leg inside, the hands inside like that. And there are a few things that you can do from that position, like the bicep slicer, if they came around. That's another one that if you didn't want to switch and they, sorry, let's turn this direction. Okay, so same position, I'm here like this, I pass this in front, and this can work with or without a gi, but it works a little bit better because I can anchor to keep that hold on there. So let's say they don't care about this is too high, it's not keeping her away, she pushes this through, comes around, she takes the side control. Now I let her come, I figure 4, I reach through, I grab, now be careful on this one, and then I raise my hips, tap when you feel, okay. Now, the reason I say be careful is because I've had a friend who had his arm broken like this, and I've had a friend who broke somebody's arm like this, and it's really a terrible, terrible injury because not in the way that you see people get hyperextended all the time, right? Not all the time, but they'll go a little bit long in a tournament. One of the worst, not too long ago, was Bia Mesquita. I mean, and she's an incredible jiu-jitsu athlete, but she got hyperextended pretty bad when she was fighting Fionn Davies, and that's hard to watch. But those the compression locks, they're much worse because what they do is they actually fracture the bone. It's not the joint that's taking it. When you have that locked in there and you kind of compress it, we're getting better at this stuff. Anyway. My friend at Chaku has got a school in Japan now. We came up together, one of my best friends, and he caught it on a guy. I don't think the guy had ever seen it before. Just a tough dude, and you just saw his arm give, and when he got up, I mean, it was gnarly. It looked like he had 2 elbows. Right? I mean, the guy was in shock, and I never see that guy compete ever again. So be careful is what I'm trying to say. And they're really good. The compression locks are super, but they will snap what's ulna and radius. Yes? Radius and ulna. Or that. Yes. Sorry. I'm not a doctor, but I play one at the academy. So.
You have a lot of questions on this.
Oh, goody. All right. So let's take a look here.
Do you need your readers, or can I help you out?
You're the reader. You're the reader. Now my eyes are doing okay.
So Dustin had asked about attacks from the mount besides the one in fundamentals.
Okay.
Mike Clyburn wants to know about half guard sweeps.
Okay.
Manuel says, is there a way/technique to bait the bottom person into an ankle lock when they go to switch hand position? That may have been in regard to what we were just doing.
Oh, okay. So repeat that question again, sorry. Is there a way, a technique to bait the bottom person into an ankle lock when they switch the hand position? I think that's probably what he's talking about when you were doing the lasso to triangle. Possibly. I mean, you always have to watch out for when you're in the open guard. That's one thing you always have to be mindful of is the foot locks. But when they switch the hand position, you'd have to develop a really good snatch and technique. I mean, you'd have to have it reflexive because the switch literally goes from here to here, and it's pretty quick. So if she's practiced that a lot, she's going back to wrist control. And one of the best ways to prevent the 2 best ways to prevent the foot lock, other than just not keeping your feet out there, is head control, whether it's by the knee or by the back of the head, and wrist control. So if you're controlling, especially like a 2-on-1 or something like that, most people are gonna need that second hand at some point. They may not need that second hand at first to snatch the foot up, but almost always they're gonna want to get the other hand involved. And if you're controlling here and you're pulling on their arm, it's hard for them to lay back for the foot lock. So I'm sure there is a way that you could in that scenario, but it would have to be a practice thing. I think what's better for you in that position, where we were talking about before, the lasso with the spider guard foot here, your better option is learning how to untie that knot, and then finding an opportunity to snatch a foot. So that's what I would focus on there. Let's see. What are the kind of questions we have here?
Thanks, Allison. I'm happy to be back on the mat.
I'm happy she's back on the mat too.
Eric Branch is digging bearded Robin.
Thanks, Eric. It's getting kind of crazy.
Allison asked what grip was on the sleeve. She said looked pistol.
How far back was that? I'm not sure when that was, Allison. I'm not sure. I don't think she had a pistol grip at all, and I don't normally use those myself. So most likely, whatever technique we were covering was 4 fingers in. Yeah, and if you're the person on the top and you're dealing very simple, like if you have the ability to, let's go back there for a second, just to kind of talk about the possibilities of untying the knot here and staying safe. So here, go ahead and get your lasso. Good. All right. So there's different answers for each one of these situations. What I would do is this here. I would use my leg. Number 1 is a safety blanket to prevent her from shooting her hips up. So even if she switched now to shoot her hips up, she's got to go through my knee. It's not going to happen. So she wouldn't do that right now. And so I'm sitting back. What I would try to do here is shorten this leg, put some pressure on it here, and swim my hand inside, okay? Now, this hand, once I strip this grip, I can push this through to strip her grip. This hand, and this can be problematic. Switch your grip to the other side, backward.
Right here?
No, on this side, the lasso. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring your hand on the other. There you go. That's it. This one, if you're able to, and this is difficult if they have a really good anchor, but here's what you want to try to do. If you're able to early on, before they anchor it way back here, this is tough. This is trouble. If you can get it here, as soon as they start to thread the leg over top, if you make this frame here and you shoot your hand down, your hand okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. You can strip that grip there. And now I can bind her up. I can strip this grip, wrap the neck, boom, pass this arm. Okay? So, if nothing else, I would make sure that I kept a knee in the middle to prevent the sweeps. I would set my base back a little bit, because when you start to come up over top, you start walking into sweep territory, overhead sweep territory. You all right?
I'm fine. I did a foot peel.
Oh gosh.
About a week ago, and I just realized how gnarly the bottom of my
feet
feet
your feet looks great. She's been soaking her feet like every morning, drinking her coffee. It's crazy. Anyway, Jiu-Jitsu.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah. So that's what I would do is protect your base first, then start worrying about and keeping yourself safe, and then start worrying about untying the knot. So when you're stuck in the guard, okay. You want to protect 3 main things first, okay? Your neck, your arms, and your base. And then after that, once you've got that settled, then you start untying the knot, start using angles, pressure, and all the guard passes to kind of deal with the situation. So what are the kind of questions we got? We got a few minutes left.
Well, I read a few of them off a second
ago.
And I might need to help our kids with their...
Oh, the compression. Oh, okay. Yes. So I think that's what she was talking about. It was the same grip. But once they get past, let's...
Do you need me right, or can I answer his question?
No, go ahead. Right. Yeah. Sorry. We have a million kids who jump in and out of here.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, Paul is still awake. Well, he's still with us. Well, I hope that helped, Paul. All right. So, be your go-to move from the reverse daily Hiva guard. Martin asks, what would be your go-to move from the reverse De La Hiva guard? My go-to move in that situation, and I don't really use that position very much. I'm not a huge De La Hiva guard guy. My main thing in that scenario would be to change my position to get to a better, more dominant open guard. There's a lot of people that can use it a lot, but it's very sporty. And most of the threat there is not from the submission; it's mostly from the sweeping scenario. So I don't really use it that much. Sorry, that's a terrible cop out to a good question. So from the top side position, a lot of it depends on what grips they have. So let's see here. How are we doing? Let's see. Well, let's show Allison really quickly that the compression lock again, and we'll show the grip. So once I secure the hand in position, so we're here, I move, I pass this leg around. Okay, at first I'm using the 4 fingers in the sleeve grip. I'm using this just to secure it. Once she passes and it's locked in here, she's not going to be able to get the arm out. Okay, so I'm here, my shin is right there in the crook of the elbow. She passes through, I let her come, and I grab with this hand. The bottom hand hooks here, this hand comes here, now this hand comes up to meet it. And once there's pressure, she's helping with the pressure here. Once there's pressure here, she's not getting the hand out. Okay, so that's what I would do. I would go up to the shoulder. Now, one thing I will share with you, you've never done this move before, have you?
What?
I'm going to walk you through it. The compression lock.
Oh, no.
Bicep slicer is what they call it. Well, you're going to learn it today. So here we go. You felt it. It really sucks, but here we go. Okay, so you're going to make a thread. Boom, here. I'm going to push this leg through. You're going to let it happen. You're going to come under, grab my shoulder. Good. Now, figure 4 your legs. Good. Now, bring the other hand up, grab my shoulder. Yes. Now, extend your hips. Push your knees away. Yes. Keep her. Yes. Good. Now, stay there. Okay? Now, let's say I come around and she shoots this up and she reaches up and she grabs. Okay? And with both hands, so this is a problem. All right? So, right away, if I can, she wants to raise her hips, this is a problem right away. If she gets this here nice and tight, if I'm chest to chest, I'm done. Okay? So as soon as I recognize there's a problem, this hand comes inside. I grab the knee. You may even have to get mean here. Okay? I'm not going to get mean with her. We're quarantined together. You crazy? Okay? But if you need to get a little bit mean here, you come here. You put the knee here, come inside here. Flare, smash this knee down. Okay? And now she extends her hips, it's not going to do anything. Okay? And now eventually we can get our arm out. So if you can act early and prevent yourself from getting down nice and low there, because man, once they get a hold of your shoulder, they don't need you to be chest to chest. I mean, they start extending, it's a lot of pressure. So you want to counter that, you want to come inside. Should we do that again? Let's do it one more time. So everybody can see. So I'm here, she had this, I push through. As soon as I see her reach underneath like this, I want to come here. So if she's grabbing here, she's already grabbed up here like this with this arm. Go ahead and grab up here with this arm. If she's grabbed here already, I need to come under it. I need to pop myself up, bring this knee here. I move back, I bring the knee here, and then I smash it down so that we can pass and defeat the, because that move really, really sucks. And I would suggest that if you get stuck in it, don't try to ride it out. I mean, she's a lot smaller than me, but she's got plenty of power in her hips to break my arm. So you get stuck in it, even maybe you don't feel pressure the same way or whatever, you think you're tough, or just be, you don't want to be sidelined for a year or have to have surgery on your arm with possible nerve damage or whatever. So it's pretty gnarly. I've seen it go bad, so don't let it go bad on you. So yeah, I haven't covered that in a long time. Yeah, so anyway, let's see if we got any other questions, new comments. All right.
There were those couple earlier questions too that we didn't address.
Oh, well, let's take a look at those questions then. What do we got? Let's see.
Well, there was one from Dustin and who else? Somebody else had asked. Oh, it was on up here. Dustin had asked about attacks from the mount, beside the one in fundamentals, and Mike had asked about half guard sweeps.
Okay, all right. Half guard sweeps might take a whole different class. And I don't know if we have a lot of time. We can touch on the mount thing a little bit.
We can touch on that maybe Thursday.
Yeah, we can. And again, keep this in mind. I'm not a huge half guard guy, but there are a few sweeps that I like a lot from there. But most of the time, my half guard, and maybe we'll cover that. Maybe we'll talk about half guard.
On Thursday?
Yeah, and I'll show my favorite kind of go-to sweeps that fit within my game, right? What I don't like very much, I don't really like deep half guard very much because I don't think it's very street applicable. I mean, if you're stuck there, there's things that you're gonna have to do, but and some people have definitely made it effective. But we'll talk about that maybe Thursday. We'll cover some of that stuff.
Paul says he's learned more from these sessions than all the seminars he's ever been to.
Well, thanks, Paul.
Glad you're enjoying it, Paul.
I'm glad you enjoy it. I appreciate you joining in and share all that good stuff. We really appreciate that. What was I gonna cover? Thanks for staying up to watch us.
Mount attacks.
Mount attack. Okay, I'm gonna show my favorite. I don't really know if I have a favorite. I'm just kind of a one-trick pony. Mount position, please. All right.
Which way do you want me?
Right there. Head that direction. Good. Now, I'm pretty much a one or two trick pony when it comes to mount position, okay? When I mount, I'm almost always gonna go for the neck, okay? And then it really depends on what they do at that point, okay? As far as our fundamentals are concerned, most of the techniques that we teach in the fundamentals from the mount position, really, I mean, we have ways of taking the back from here. We have arm wrap, we have Americana, we have the basic collar chokes, right? Actually, I don't even think we focus most of those on the guard. But in the mount position, then we have the standard crossbody arm lock. But that's very, very much like this. This is when somebody's trying to push you up. Okay? An educated person is going to protect themselves. They're not going to, especially when we're sparring. She knows I'm not gonna punch her here. She's not gonna just give me her arm. So I have to find a way for her to give me her arms. Okay? So if I go here in the collar, I pay attention to first off what she's going to do. And notice, let's turn this way a little bit. Okay? When I go to put the hand on the collar, I never want to do this. Okay? Because now I'm just cutting, I'm up, and I'm off balance because I cut the table leg off. Okay? I want to move the table. So now if she tries to bridge me now, I have time to throw the hook in and come right back to the middle point or take advantage of whatever. Now, a lot of times people will come here. When I put the four fingers in the collar, they'll come here. And it's almost like they're telling me they're going to try to trap and roll, okay? But if I'm over here, I'm okay, all right? Now, if somebody grabs my arm like this right away, and I'm here, I lift and I shoot the hand in, okay? Because their hand is not ready to block. So if I come here like this and I see her grab my arm, boom, I shoot the hand, okay? So I'm here, I'm moving, and you know, I love this collar choke a lot. And if it's open, I'll shoot both hands at the same time. But typically it's not gonna be like that. They're gonna be like kind of tight here like this. And then they see an opportunity, they start to grab. If I see both hands grab like this, it's very common. I lift and I shoot the hand. I'm doing it slowly because I don't wanna punch my wife in the chin, okay? But it just looks like that. Right here, she goes here, I'm kind of hiding my hand a little bit. I lift and I shoot the hand in, okay? You see I'm going boom, okay? And then once I have it, my forehead goes to the floor. So I'm always attacking and you know, if there's time where they grab here tight like this, and there's one reason, that's one of the biggest reasons we grab this arm, you don't want to grab this arm prematurely, okay? Because now she's telling me she wants to trap and roll. Well, am I going to bring my weight over here? No, I'm going to stay here. So she grabs, and maybe I'm just causing a little bit of confusion. She doesn't know where the hands are going to be. She's blocking. Boom. I shoot it in. And even my hands gets kind of stuck in there. I kind of punch it through. Forehead to the floor. Rotate, put your belly right into the choke, split your knees out, let your body weight do the job. So typically I'm going to attack the neck, but I would say probably 50% of the time, as I'm attacking the neck, they're defending, and then I'm able to slide up and take the arm. And that's very important. So standard arm lock, I'll let you, do you feel comfortable doing that one? Oh.
Probably.
Okay, we actually covered it not too long ago, okay? Because my fat butt doesn't have to slide around and try to catch her a small arm. Okay? No. So she's here like this. She's attacking the neck, right? And maybe I'm blocking like this. If I go like this, I'm kind of opening it up. She just lifts the arm. She shoots the hand underneath. Go for the choke. Go for the choke. Yes, good. Good. There you go. Good. And so that's why when I'm on the bottom, I don't want to grab it, even if I want the trap and roll, okay? Which I don't know that I want it yet. I don't want it until it's available. Now she starts to come over top, and I see it. Boom! Now I'll grab it before she goes, okay? Or I'm sorry, as she's coming over. Everything happens simultaneously. I don't go like this, okay? Because she knows it's going to come. So she just bases herself, or she's ready, okay? And so if I go here and she hooks and then she stabilizes, now when I come back down, I'm going to be, I expended some energy. Now she's going to be available to come over here and choke me, whatever, okay? Now, if my hand is here and I'm blocking and I wait for her to come over top, now when she starts to cross the center line, boom, now I grab it. And I'm grabbing here, behind the elbow and here. Because now, if I grab it like this, which a lot of people do this grip. Sit up for me. They do this grip. This feels strong. Rip your arm out. Pull it out. Not very hard, okay? Now rip your arm out. Go ahead. Pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Let go of the gi. Let go of the gi. Let go of it. Even though she's still able to pull her arm back, she doesn't have her arm out. I'm with her, okay? Does that make sense? So even though I bridge, I can go as slow as I want. She can't have her arm back, okay? So always grab behind the elbow here, okay? And grab the wrist with this hand here, all right? You can grab the material too, it's not wrong, okay? But this grip keeps them from sending the hand out here. This keeps them from pulling it out that direction. So if I'm just grabbing like this, rip it, boom, okay? Now, she's attacking my neck and I'm defending successfully. She starts to come underneath, right? And I'm blocking here. She starts to come over top. At some point, if I lose track of where my arm is, she keeps her weight here. She makes me think she wants the collar, but she wants the arm. Go. Yes, very good. Okay? So you do a little bit of voodoo, right? Like, whoop, whoop. Make them think about their neck. Like, oh man, create some confusion. They forget where their arm is. That elbow comes up just enough. Let's do it one more time. That elbow comes up just enough for her knee to slide up. So if she comes up, that's all she needs. Now, yes. Now she's in a position to switch and take the arm. Okay? So if you want the arm, attack the neck. That's something we always talk about. But, at the end of the day, if they open up the neck, why risk losing the mount, losing the arm lock, when you can stay in the mount and finish? So that's why I prefer the choke. But, yeah. Anyway, I hope that helped. And, I think we'll probably cut it off there. We've gone a good, we're almost at 6:40. So hope that helped. And, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, throw them in there in the comments. Join us Thursday, same time, 6 o'clock. If you got any questions, even if you're not there or not able to join us, Paul, maybe if you're sleeping, hope you get some rest. I hope everybody's happy and healthy in the UK, and I think that's where he's from. Go ahead and just, when we post it up, go ahead and type in the questions just like you had before, and we appreciate it. Appreciate all the support from our academy and from all of our friends online through YouTube. So thank you all so much, and have a great evening.
See you Thursday.
We'll see you.